Yo, what's up, bro? Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool, cool. Just making sure. We'll wait a couple of minutes for some more people to come online, and I'll let people know in the Discord that I'm on live. Thank you, thank you. How's everyone doing today? I just wanted to get on here because this week it's a red week, and we haven't had a red week this in quite some time. So a lot of people are kind of panicking, which is not the thing to do. I think that the market can, in my personal opinion, I'll probably be doing a little bit of shopping for stocks tomorrow. Um, I think that the market can run higher. There's more money coming into the system, into the markets. $1,400 stimulus checks, those are expected to come around at some point. There's um, on top of those $1,400 stimulus checks, people are going to be getting their tax refunds soon. So there's going to be a lot of liquidity coming into the market. I think that this market can run higher. This is just a natural correction from the markets really briefly hitting their all-time highs is what I see it as. So in my opinion, no need to panic. People are asking me like, why is Neo dipping? Neo's always been a volatile stock. On top of that, the entire market is down. We have some nice catalysts around the corner. So, if you wanted to add to your Neo position, if I were you, I would add some shares right now. Um, if I were you, not specifically giving financial advice because you guys know how that goes. But you said that hoodie is tough. Thank you. Invest in good companies, no need to panic. 100% agree. If you have to panic about something, if there's a dip or correction in the markets, you probably shouldn't be in it in the first place. What do you think about CCIV? I am not a. I mean, honestly, like I've had this conversation a few times about Lucid Motors. Everything sounds good. We don't have a real existing product. And then on top of that, if you think about the Lucid Air, that's going after the same market that the ET7 is going after. Only difference between Lucid Motors and Neo, in my opinion, is that Neo's not a one-trick pony. They have the ET7 around the corner. The Lucid Air is around the corner. So those two are competing on that level, going after luxury sedans like BMW, Audi, Mercedes. But then on top of that, Neo has cornered a piece of the market, which is the premium electric SUV market already in China. They're getting into Europe. So there's more exponential growth when it comes to Neo for me. So someone said, what about Tesla? I said that I would be doing some shopping tomorrow. Tesla might be on my list. It might not be on my list. Every time I'm about to buy Tesla, I actually just I don't end up buying it, but it doesn't mean I don't like Tesla. It just means that I think that there's better opportunities at the at the moment. Tesla's corrected a lot, so you know, same thing I just said about Neo. If Tesla's your thing, then Tesla's your thing. Pretty much the market's on having a nice sale right now. Yes, lots of opportunity. The thing is, so many people get scared, so many people panic, so many people say not so good today. Um, this is a great time. I'm having a ball because stocks are so richly priced. You should be in my opinion, what I would do is I'm going to be moving on these moments of weakness that we're having in the market. um a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, who even cares what the price is today? If you get a chance to buy a company on sale, then you should pounce on that. Hey Obi, I bought more Neo since it's on sale. Did you get to buy some more? So I actually, from pretty much, I want to say maybe I forgot, but maybe January to I actually bought Neo for a whole year straight. I can't remember the dates exactly, but it's about to be a year come March. So from March to March would make a year. So I stopped buying Neo actually, and I've been like kind of my portfolio at a time was 80% Neo. It's probably like 54% right now. So I'm not selling Neo shares. I'm still holding everything that I have, but I'm buying new stuff and I'm diversifying. And you guys see me talking about different companies on the channel, which the companies I've been picking have been doing well. So, just diversifying a little bit. Maybe I go back and buy some more Neo and then kind of repeat the cycle and diversify a little bit more. But as far as my Neo position, I am, satisfied with it right now. I wanted to get to a certain number and I did. What's your take on Yoshin? Um, my take on Yoshin is, I mean, I'm just bullish on the Chinese used car market. When I look at Yoshin, you got to look at it like someone said, like they're barely selling any cars right now. They just changed their whole business model. So obviously, you know, that's an acceptable statement from somebody who hasn't done their due diligence, but you don't go from having a whole bunch of different avenues and ways of selling cars to talking about online auctions, and then you just get rid of all that and your only distribution channel is now um online, and you don't have your offline channels anymore. So when you do that, obviously there's going to be a drop in sales. um for me right now, for Yoshin, we want to see a slow and steady increase upwards after their next earnings. But am I looking to make profit on it right away? No. Even though I have made profit on it, I'm still not getting too high on the highs or too low on the lows. I'm just pretty much accumulating, being patient with it, and waiting my time. I watched a Chamath Palihapitiya interview the other day, and he said that the problem with like a lot of these Robinhood is good in the sense that it's like democratizing investing, but the problem that it has is that a lot of people, it also kind of gamifies investing. And with that, people don't know how to put money in a company and wait a long time. That's what investing is. He said investing for retirement shouldn't be fun. It's not as glamorized or as fun as like swing trading or saying I made 154% in one day or in 2 weeks. That's the problem. Um, VIX is not high enough to add big now. You don't have to add big. You never. I never personally like go big on my positions. If I'm going to start doing some shopping tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy small, and as the market continues, if it continues in the low direction, I will continue to add. That's how I treat all my stocks. Um, and does it matter to me from a long-term perspective if I look at what I'm paying, if I look at market cap, if I look at even PE ratios are blown out the water right now. So this market is extremely high. You check out Yardini research, you'll see that PE ratios were extremely high. They still are extremely high. I think this month, um, even the first month, January of the year, has just been, you know, off the charts. We're seeing growth that some analysts didn't project. We're seeing growth that some analysts predicted for, the next 12 months already in second month of 2020, 2021. So, um, the market environment is a lot different. Let's see. Yoshin gang is growing. Keep bringing the Yoshin videos, brother. This stock will buy me a Ferrari. Hey, hopefully it gets all of us a Ferrari. Uh, and congrats on your gain so far. It's almost that time for me to buy Neo calls, salivating at these ridiculously low prices. I so as far as like Neo options, I recently started playing options in Neo. I've been playing options sometimes around like other stuff, but I sold some $85 Neo calls when Neo was at like $62.50, and those are looking really good right now. I'm looking like I'm going to keep my premium. I won't say the date just because I don't want anyone to go and copy like any trades that I make without doing their own research, because it could it could be disastrous. Options are kind of risky. Selling covered calls to me isn't that risky, but I just don't like to put options trades out there because a lot of people just it's not safe. Are there any stocks you're keeping your eye on? Actually, yeah, I've been keeping my eye on Clover for a while. I never actually pulled the trigger. It got hit by Hindenburg Research, a short seller. It's pretty much, I don't know how much it's down right now. Let me check. I know that it's beaten up pretty good. That's when I like to buy stocks. But I'm still researching. Um, I'm trying to understand a little bit more about the company before I put my money in. I said I'm going shopping tomorrow. That might be on my list. We'll see. Has anybody been thinking about Clover, or what's going on with that one, you guys? Um, so yeah, Clover Health is down 18% in the last month after it got hit by Hindenburg Research. I'm a buyer of Neo at 50 and 40. Nice, nice. Congrats on the gains. Um, will you invest in Kathy Wood's ARC X? Is that supposed to be the Moon ETF? Not really a fan of ETFs. I kind of have been telling myself maybe I should slowly start building up some ETFs, but right now I'm just picking individual stocks and seeing where that gets me. I might come around. I had ARK-K at some point. That one's just the more broad innovation ETF. I sold that, bought Neo. Sold. I had Virgin Galactic at some point. Sold that, took profits, put it into Neo. Turns out the money was better off in Neo. Even though Virgin Galactic did its thing, I could have continued holding Virgin Galactic and been happy with it. But the reason that I actually sold out of Virgin Galactic is because one of the engines failed on a test flight or something. And something just like clicked in my head, like, do I really need to be risking my money in a play like this? Virgin Galactic is a play that deals with human life and safety. So really one bad move and it's over for a company like that. And also at the same time, Chamath was decreasing his stake. Um, I know that he decreased his stake because he said that he was illiquid and he had to put money in the right places. But he's good now. Virgin Galactic, I'm bullish on. I just don't know if I should take that kind of risk with a company like that. Great company. Love the management team. Richard Branson is the man. PE ratios are not the best indicators. I agree, especially in this market. Um, we're making new standards, I believe. People are looking at price to book and saying that value snaps back and outperforms growth. I don't agree with that theory either. ARC ETFs are fire. Yes, they are. Kathy Woods, ARK Invest, they've been doing their thing. Tasha Keeney, I read a lot of her research reports on mobility as a service. Yo, what's up, Travis? You said I'm buying some $50 to $55 calls myself, but I'm waiting till Neo drops a little bit more. Hey, if it drops, you're gonna get those calls a lot cheaper. So that doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. Um, What are your thoughts on Palantir Technologies? The current price looks good. So I look at Palantir at first, when Palantir was like sky high, I think not really sky high, but it was like out the gate somewhere in like the lower 30s or something like that. I was looking at that and I was looking at Splunk. As far as Palantir, I don't know too much about it, but I think that I know the price. I know they got beat up by Citron. Um, and I think that there could be a lot of upside for a company like that. I would just have to do my research. I'm looking at it from the outside in, and I haven't really done any like deep dives or anything on that. And also, I'm not someone who feels like I need to invest in everything. So when people say like you need to buy like Palantir, you need to buy like this company or that, the truth is over the long term, um, there's money being made in a lot of different places in the stock market, and getting the chance to speak with the people that I've spoken with, I understand that you don't have to jump on every rocket, um, if that makes sense to everyone. What do you think about genomics, CRISPR, the new medicine? So honestly, I don't know much about the genomic space. I like that emoji though. Warren Buffett says to stay in your circle of confidence. As far as CRISPR, that's one of the only genomics companies that I know, and they're arguably the biggest. In high school and in college, we watched stuff about the race to decode the human genome, and CRISPR has a lot of involvement in that and how important it's going to be. There's a movie that we also watched back in high school called Gattaca, I believe it was called, where it's kind of like this future where people are essentially buying their babies, choosing what they want their babies to be like. Through genomics or through epigenomics. And if I remember correctly, epigenomics means anything above genomics. So when you actually have control of the outcome. But you know, that's my quick spiel on genomics. It is likely going to be a big area of growth in the future. And Kathy Woods says so herself. I personally don't know too much about it. If I was going to buy an ARK ETF right now, it would be ARK G. I'll put my trust in them and do a little bit of research on the overall industry, on the companies they hold, and let it ride. And I don't mind paying the expense ratio if they're going to deliver the growth that they've been delivering over the past 5 years. Insiders might be selling, but we don't know yet on Palantir. Just got in. Sorry if you covered it. Plug and F cells bottomed. I haven't watched those stocks. Um, and no problem. It's not the very few company. It's not of the very few companies that's doing something different out here. SPCE. What's your thoughts on BB? Now, is that BlackBerry? I'm hearing it's a 5G play. That's as much as I can tell you about BlackBerry. I don't know too much about it. Do you think AMC could pull another squeeze in the near months? I'm actually short on GameStop right now, and it's moving in the right direction. I wouldn't personally buy into. I mean, it depends on where AMC is at. When AMC was around $5, very briefly, I don't know where it's at today. In fact, let me check, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna say. So AMC is at like $5.51. When AMC was around $5, Um, I told you guys I at like what was it at like 16 that I said I wouldn't touch AMC with a 10-foot pole when AMC was around $5. You got to understand that the company just raised a ton of capital for the near term. Bankruptcies off the table. So the stock had initially shot up from $4 to $19 and then back to $16, and then for it to be at $5, I think maybe it was a good play at that point, but I still wouldn't touch it because long term, I think the movie industry really needs to change a lot of stuff, and it doesn't make sense to me. I haven't looked at like their financials per se. I haven't done a like hard look and seen where all the money's going and where it's coming in and where it's going out because they're charging a lot of money for like things like popcorn and like candy and stuff like that, and you're gonna pay a premium if you're eating that stuff at the movie theater. Um, but yeah, I was just on Disney Plus yesterday. I don't know if anyone's seen the movie Safety. I watched that and I saw like something on Disney Plus that said that you can premiere movies when they first come out on Disney Plus, depending on the movie, of course, because of licenses and stuff. That's what makes the whole streaming business, and that's how people compete. But there's a lot of people who would rather watch a movie from home than actually show up to the movie. And I think I'm one of those people that, hey, if I'm going out to the movies as a social thing, it's going to be infrequently, and that's when I will actually go to the movies. But majority of the time, I'd rather just watch a movie from home and stream it. So AMC, I don't know. I wouldn't touch that one, in my opinion, right now. Thanks for Yoshin. No problem. I recently grabbed 1,000 shares of Yoshin at $1.10 average cost. Nice, nice, nice. You did hit a home run on IDEX. I did, and I haven't been talking about IDEX. Surprisingly, somebody was saying way back in the day when I first started talking about IDEX, did you hear about like the YouTubers like getting paid to talk about IDEX or whatever? And I never would ever take a deal like that or anything like that. I posted IDEX off of people's request. I looked into the business. I thought that they had a lot of things going on. It made sense. The first time I talked about IDEX was when it was, I think when it was under $1. I started buying IDEX under $1. A lot of people were hating. There was this guy who was commenting on like every video saying IDEX is a scam company, like pull your money out. Like a lot of people are gonna lose money from $1, yeah, from $1 to like it hit $5.50 recently. Um, I still haven't been posting about IDEX like that. I still have it. I still have $1 calls. But that just goes to show you why it's super important to do your own research, come to your own conclusions. Because there were a lot of people saying IDEX was running off of the EV valuation. If I out of the EV bubble and the valuations that companies are given just for being deemed as EV companies. If IDEX was getting that type of treatment, um, it would be trading much higher. We see companies shooting up to like $20, $30, $40, $50 for being just EV companies. And IDEX didn't get that type of treatment. I saw that they were the thing that determined that they weren't a scam for me. And people can still have their own opinions. Hindenburg Research wrote a short selling report on them too. But why would revenue generating companies be selling their businesses to IDEX if IDEX is a scam? You know, they have a percentage in Solar Electric, they have a percentage in Tree Electric, they have a percentage in I can't even remember it, but the real estate company. Um, they just bought Wave, the wireless charging company. So, and then on top of that, they have partnerships with established names, BYD, Tesla, the list goes on. They have partnerships with Jack Motors per se. So it just didn't make sense for anybody that was, in my opinion, to call IDEX a scam. Although, you know, there's some shady stuff that transpired in the past. You know, what I say all the time is with an investment, it matters when you buy. A stock can be a bad stock for somebody and it can be a great stock for somebody else. So, you know, that's just how I try to navigate those type of things. Have you ever heard of Bionomics? Is that BNGO? Like I said, genomics isn't really my circle of confidence. I don't think I need to. touch that sector to make a lot of money on in the stock market. There's a lot of sectors I don't need to touch, but if I do end up, oh, okay. No, I still haven't heard of it. But I was saying that there's a lot of sectors that I don't need to touch to make a lot of money in the stock market. There's people who only invested in tech companies, held their stuff through the tech bubble. Um, they made a lot of money. There's people who only invest in oil, those OPEC guys. They make a lot of money. There's people who only invest in crypto. So I'm actually in Ethereum right now. Um, so right now I'm 50% BTC. I recently just opened a position in Ethereum. I think that Ethereum and Bitcoin are leading the race in the cryptocurrency in the whole crypto world. Obviously, Bitcoin's the big dog. Um, there's I am not a crypto expert by any means, shape, or form, but Bitcoin has that scarcity factor. There's a certain amount out there. Every 4 years there's a halving. With Ethereum, um, the reason the reason why I think that if there is going to be a winner, it's going to be Bitcoin. But with Ethereum, um, if you can make more currency, you will make more currency, and we see that with the U.S. government, with not even just the U.S. government, with governments all over the world with fiat currency. Um, it doesn't have the same type of decentralization, in my opinion, that Bitcoin does. So, but as a good allocator of capital, I said I'm gonna go 50% Bitcoin and I'm gonna go 50% Ethereum because they both seem to have good use applications. Agree or disagree? Yes, yes, Ethereum 2.0 is coming as well. No, all my crypto is in BlockFi, which ultimately means that it's in Gemini. Agreed, Bitcoin as a store of value asset, Ethereum will be more useful. Yes, that's exactly what I think. Um, and that's how it looks today. But it seems like a lot of places are actually accepting cryptocurrency payment these days. Not a lot of places, but Tesla is accepting payment for their cars with Bitcoin. There's a lot of you can buy houses with Bitcoin. People are getting paid in Bitcoin in certain places, so and in certain situations. But Ethereum does seem like to me that it will have more use application and the I forget the guy's name who made it, but he seems like a really smart kid, and it doesn't seem like he would work so hard to make something. I like to invest in people too, and it doesn't seem that he would work so hard to make something that's kind of frivolous. I'm very bullish on Weemy, been in since $6. What's that about, Travis? Palantir, already talked about it. I don't know much about Palantir. Um, another competitor to actually never mind. Well, yeah, actually another competitor to Palantir is Splunk. I think that I find more a lot of people who actually know about the industry that they serve told me to look into Splunk over Palantir. So I would probably start my research there, and maybe I'll circle back to Palantir, but um, I don't know much about it. What's your take on SNPR? I'm not sure. AMP coin on Gemini. So I'm buying through BlockFi. So with BlockFi, they keep all their stuff in Gemini, which we know is super secure. But at the same time, the reason I buy my crypto through BlockFi is because I'm getting that say my Bitcoin, I'm getting 6.5% interest paid in Bitcoin. That gets paid out to me on the first of every month. And then with Ethereum, I believe it's like 5.5% interest. That gets paid to me on the first of every month. And if I keep like Gemini dollars, which is a stable coin that's designed um, not to fluctuate in price, I'm actually getting 8.6% on that. So eventually I will convert my Ethereum to stable coin, sell out, um, and pull out all the money probably at the end of this year. You said not your keys, not your coins. Yes, I understand the argument. I don't think I need to keep my Bitcoin in cold storage. Um, I've actually talked to somebody who sits on the board. I shouldn't even be saying this, but I've talked to somebody who sits. I actually won't say that because I don't think I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, I don't think I need to keep my keys in like cold storage or hold on to my keys. Um, maybe I reevaluate later on down the road, and maybe I do, but at the same time, I rather be collecting interest on the coins. There are risks. There's no FDIC insurance. There's no I believe there's no SPIC insurance. So whatever happens, happens, But what am I going to do? Am I going to sit in a bank which is paying me like 0.043%? Really, I'm getting a negative yield when you factor in inflation. No, I want as much money as I have sitting around. I want it to be put to work, especially in a market environment like this. Um, so on top of that, what I do is I just keep my emergency fund around, and if anything comes up that's an emergency, then I pull from that emergency fund. But I'm putting money to work right now. Don't fight the Fed, like I said at the beginning of this video. There's a lot of stimulus coming in. We're expecting those $1,400 stimulus checks to eventually hit the markets. People, this is tax time. It's tax season, so people are going to be getting their refunds. There's going to be a surplus of liquidity. There's not much to do right now in a lot of the country, so a lot of that money is going to go into flow back into the markets, pushing equity prices higher. We're just having a little bounce off of cooling down off of the market after being at all-time highs. So um, nothing to panic about, in my opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm not giving you an expert opinion, but um, that's just how I look at it. When is the stimulus hitting the market? So that's going to be determined by Congress. So you have to actually like wait around and see when that comes around. What we're hearing right now is that stimulus could be hitting the market. Every time that they've said that, we have got more stimulus, even if it wasn't what people were expecting. First there was a $1,200 check, then there was a $600 check, which people obviously argue that wasn't enough. So I do think that people do think that there is a need for more stimulus, especially with that $600 stimulus check not being enough. So we'll play it by ear. We'll read the articles. We'll see what happens, um, and don't fight the Fed. Take it from the guy who shorted the market for a little bit back in March, cut losses, and turned everything around. What exchange are you using to trade crypto? BlockFi. Um, big Big facts. Got more today and will tomorrow in all my stocks. Buy the dips. I'm buying. Yes. For me personally, I'm buying the dip all the way down. I'll buy it all the way down. Someone said earlier on this chat that the VIX, um, because the VIX is where it's at right now, you shouldn't be going buying big on stocks right now. I never buy big on stocks to begin with. I do that. I'd buy in portions. Sometimes I really do pull the trigger, but it has to be something special. How much do you keep in cash? I just had 20% in cash. I exhausted my entire cash position, and I was not buying any stocks for these past I want to say like 3 weeks. I was building up cash, built back up to 20%. Um, Lost a good amount of it on an options trade. But obviously building back up to that 20% was from trading in the first place. So um, right now I probably have about 13% cash. Um, how often do I trim down? Um, can I transfer from Coinbase to BlockFi to earn interest? Yeah, you can. I transferred from this crypto app that my friend had me using called Metal Pay. I was using that before BlockFi had crypto trading on the platform. All they had was you could transfer crypto, and I was using this Metal Pay that I got like way back in the day and transferring it and getting charged a fee. Now I'm not getting charged a fee to purchase my crypto. I can do ACH transfers and just buy the crypto, trade my Gemini for bit. They you're given the ability to purchase stable coin, and then you could trade that stable coin for say Litecoin, um, Ethereum. You can trade it for another stable coin that they have on there. There's other cryptos. I only pay attention to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Which one will you rate higher, Fiverr or Upwork? Now, as far as the businesses are, we'll say that Fiverr has probably Upwork probably has more room to grow than Fiverr, but I think both of them have a lot of room to grow. But Upwork is a smaller company. As far as me, I've used Fiverr before, so I like Fiverr. Obviously, there's a lot of junk on there, and I'm just being honest. You have to be careful with what you're using on Fiverr. But I've used Fiverr before. I like Fiverr. So if I had to invest in one, um, if someone like said you have 5 seconds to pick one, pick Fiverr or Upwork, I'm gonna pick Fiverr. Do you trade much on options? No. How often do I trim down? I don't. People ask me to set like what do you think Neo's going to be like after earnings? I'm not that type of person who puts out a video every day and says Neo price target, Neo price target, Neo price target, or trims my positions in the short term. I go long on stocks. I invest in good companies with huge market potential that I think is ahead of them. And if I still believe in the company, I stick with the company. If I don't believe in the company, that's when you'll see me use the sell button. Um, I don't really set short-term price targets, and I think like a lot of that stuff where people post those like new Neo price target, new Neo price target is disingenuous. So I don't do that. When are you going to release the GME clickbait thumbnail? Um, is that Bigfoot from the Discord? No, I'm not releasing that thumbnail. You guys are silly for that. But I trimmed down Neo at 61, but I was lucky. I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, because now you can buy back in cheaper, I guess, but I think about taxes. So I'd rather just hold long term, pay less taxes, not stress about getting in and out of it. Neo's a pretty hard stock to swing trade, so I don't really try to trade that too much. I did this week. I was up and then I was down. I got burned on it. So um I didn't sell any of my Neo stocks. I'm talking about options, but it is what it is. I made my money back selling covered calls, so I basically broke even since I was hedged. Who landed on Mars? Does Boeing own NASA? Yes, sir. I'm on live. What's up, Paul? I gotta talk about TBLT some more. I know you like that company. Bitcoin is too hyped at the moment. It should grow steady and calm. Is Bitcoin too hyped, or is there a certain amount of supply? Um, Retail investors, I think I read this statistic on it today actually that people were holding people who have been holding Bitcoin at lower prices just aren't selling. So this is what's happening. There's more demand for Bitcoin. There's obviously limited supply. More and more people want it, more institutions want it. They see a company like Tesla buying into it. They see a company like MicroStrategy buying into it. They see Square getting involved with it, PayPal getting involved with it. But there's limited supply, and the people who've been holding, they're just holding on to it. They're not letting go of it. They say, can we buy your Bitcoin for 10K? They're like, we're not going to sell you this Bitcoin for 10K. Okay, 20K. We're not going to sell you this Bitcoin for 20K. 30K. Nope, we're not selling you this Bitcoin for 30K. 40K. Nope, we're not selling it to you for 40K. So 52K Bitcoin hits high. Um, and then on top of that, do you think if there's more people who are gonna buy Bitcoin in the future, demand's gonna go up, supply and demand. Bitcoin seems to be working off supply and demand so far. Um, that's just how it's working out. More institutions coming in, what that actually does is dampen the volatility. So do we see the Bitcoin that we saw in around the 2017-ish era? I don't think so. I don't think that we see those ginormous. I mean, we can still see Bitcoin drop in value, but do we see ginormous swings where Bitcoin drops probably where Bitcoin loses like 60 percent of its value in a week or so? I don't think we see that Bitcoin anymore unless institutions start dumping. But it's obviously a risky asset. It's a very small part of my portfolio, particularly, because anything can happen with it. There's outside factors that also control the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. Bitcoin is not a digital fiat currency because fiat currency, um, if you have the power to make more money, you're going to make more money. If you have the power to print more money, you're going to print more money. No one has the power to do that when it comes to Bitcoin. There is a limited supply. Every 4 years, the supply is cut in half. And at the same time, there's more people who want Bitcoin. So um, I wouldn't call it a fiat currency. Fiat currency is supposed to be the opposite of what Bitcoin stands for. What's your take on CCIV? People are taking money away from Tesla. I'm not a fan of CCIV or Lucid Motors. You won't see me investing in that. Um, right now, there's a lot of hype. Um, these type of things come with this market environment. GameStop pushes and stuff like that are not over. Um, you think about CCIV. I said this earlier on the call that CCIV is a one-trick pony. You think about the Lucid Air. That is supposed to be a model that's supposed to be competing with the BMW 5 Series, the Mercedes Benz, their competitor in that class, Audi's competitor in that class. That's a market that Neo's ET7 is going after. So Neo's ET7, eventually, if and when, and I think Neo will come to the US, they will be competing with the Lucid Air. The ET7 will go head to head with the Lucid Air. Here's the catch: Neo's batteries are upgrading over time. They're getting more range and things like that. So like I said, the Lucid Air, that's a one. So far CCIV or Lucid Motors, that's a one trick pony. All they have is that sedan that's cornering the luxury market, and Neo already has the ET7 going head to head with that. On top of that, Neo has so many other arms and legs to their business. They have the world's best pure electric vehicle, best selling pure electric vehicle, the ES6, and on top of that, they have the EC6, they have the ES8. Those are all top 10 ranked cars in China. They hold the two top spots so far with the ES6 and the ES8 from insurance registrations. So NIO is actually a more diversified company in terms of the products that they offer so far. And then on top of that, Lucid Motors doesn't even have a product yet. They're supposed to be revealing one soon, but I'm not going to make a major bet on that and say that the stock price should be where it's at when there's no product out yet. Let's wait. Let's see what they have to offer because everything to me about that company, it sounds good. And notice that I'm saying sounds. I'm being very particular with my words. Um, but what they actually do and what they actually say could be two completely different things. But isn't it so that every coin that is made with scarcity could be another potential Bitcoin? No, it's a lot more complicated than that. So, for example, that's why I said like I believe in the decentralization story of Bitcoin more than Ethereum, but I'm bullish on both coins. I think that they'll both have a space in the world per se. I don't want to say the market because they are just currency. But Ethereum, if you are, like I said, if you're incentivized to make more coins or make more coins or make more currency, you're going to do it. And there's nothing that's limiting um, Ethereum from doing so. And at the end of the day, um, money, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's the US dollar, whether it's Ethereum, it's all a belief system. So the value that it has is the value the that the people as a collective assign to it. If I say I'm not going to sell you my Bitcoin for 40K, you got to pay me 50K and we all agree on that, then somebody comes in and they're going to have to pay 50K. So with the US dollar, if people just stop believing in um, the dollar doesn't have to be the currency anymore and it's going to drop in value. There's no demand for the dollar. On top of that, they're already printing trillions and trillions and trillions of US dollars. So supply is going up um, for the US dollar. And when there's an increase in supply, um, that's not good for price. What's your take on the drone industry? I haven't really explored that front yet, but that is very interesting. Someone told me to invest in EH or EHang or whatever it's called. I haven't looked into it. I don't think I would. Um, I don't think I want to explore that idea though. Um, I'm not too sure about it. I think I've glanced at it for a little bit. What do you guys think about EHang? We're at the 48-minute mark so far. I don't want this live stream to go too long, so I am going to can this at the 50-minute mark. Um, Let me know what stocks that I personally talk about that you guys want to hear about this week, or what types of videos do you want me to put out this week? It gives you Virgin Galactic vibes. Yeah, it's like safe human life is something that's very precious. So one screw up and it's pretty much over. Talk about Yoshin, talk about Virgin Galactic. I could talk about Virgin Galactic, why I ended up closing my position there. I talked about it on a few live streams, but maybe I make a dedicated video for that. Let's talk about Yoshin and IDEX. Can talk about IDEX. I haven't talked about IDEX in a while, so I'm gonna write that down. IDEX, Yoshin. I sold my DraftKings and bought Shopify. Shopify, great company. ACIC is an American company like eHang. Um, I'll write that down. I'll check it out. Thank you. Any updates on TBLT? I'll write that down. just a little bit of news. Maybe I talk about that this week too. And I have a few ideas for TBLT too, so I'll probably talk about that as well. Joby Aviation. Okay, guys, that is going to be it for this live stream. If you want to keep the conversation going, the Discord is linked in the description. On top of that, if you want to get two free stocks, which could be valued up to over $2,000, click the link in the description below to make sure you get those two free stocks from Webull when you open your account. I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for tuning in. I think IDEX has had a good pullback too. Um, I was thinking about adding here, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. All right, see you guys.